It was midnight. The city lights blurred through the rain as a luxury car stopped at a dark alley. Inside sat Isabella Reed, the youngest and most feared female CEO in the country. Cold, brilliant, unbreakable. And then, out of nowhere, a drenched, trembling girl ran in front of her car, falling to her knees. Through the glass, Isabella saw her lips move. The girl was crying, her voice barely a whisper. "Please, pretend you love me." For the first time in her life, Isabella was speechless. She could buy loyalty, silence, even power, but not this. Isabella Reed had built her empire from nothing. People called her the Ice Queen, no mercy, no weakness, no love. She didn't believe in emotions. Not after her fiancé ran off with her best friend and half her company shares. Since then, she'd only trusted numbers and contracts. But that night, when she saw the poor girl, barefoot, shaking and bleeding from the rain, something broke through that icy armor. She stepped out of the car and said coldly, "Why would I do that?" The girl sobbed, "My father is dying. He's in the hospital. I told him I have someone who loves me. Please just pretend." For one day, Isabella should have walked away. She never wasted time on strangers. But the way that girl looked at her, with desperation, not greed, it reminded Isabella of herself years ago, when no one came to help her. So she said, "Fine, one day, I'll be your girlfriend." The girl's eyes widened with disbelief. She didn't even thank her. She just cried harder. The next morning, they walked into the hospital hand in hand. Everyone stared. Isabella Reed, the woman whose face was on business magazines, was holding hands with a poor girl. Inside the hospital room, the old man looked up, weak but smiling. "So, this is the one who loves you?" The girl nodded through tears, and Isabella smiled. A real smile, for the first time in years. They spent the whole day pretending, taking photos, laughing, even feeding pigeons outside. But by sunset, Isabella couldn't tell what was real anymore. If you're still watching, hit subscribe right now, because what happened next will stay with you long after this story ends. Later that night, as the girl slept in the hospital chair, Isabella went through her file. The truth made her freeze. The girl's name was Clara Reed. Her last name, Reed. Isabella's blood ran cold. She called her lawyer, demanded answers, and what she heard broke her heart. Years ago, her father, before his death, had another family, another daughter. Clara was her half-sister. Isabella went silent. All her life she thought she was alone, abandoned, unloved. Now the truth stood right in front of her, asleep in a hospital chair, wearing shoes full of holes. The next morning, Isabella called every investor she knew, sold part of her shares, and paid for the old man's full treatment. When Clara woke up, she found Isabella holding her hand. Clara whispered, "You didn't have to keep pretending." Isabella smiled softly. "I'm not pretending anymore. You're my family." Months later, the world saw a different Isabella Reed. The once ruthless CEO had opened a foundation for abandoned girls, named it Clara's Promise. And beside her, always smiling, was the sister she almost never knew. Sometimes the people who enter your life by accident are the ones who were meant to be there all along. If this story touched your heart, don't just scroll away. Hit subscribe for more stories that remind us. Even the coldest hearts can melt when love walks in, unexpectedly.